Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Truth is Bearer Proof. I'm Jack Bigadoo. You also know me as the Hood Sommelier. And on this podcast, what do we talk about? We talk about people's history, we try their spirit, and we try to know a little bit more about the people behind the bottle. It's very easy to go to the store, pick up a bottle, or go online and pick up a bottle because you heard quote unquote influencers like me tell you that is good. But sometimes I often tell people the best way to support any brand is to know the people behind the brand and really dive in and know a little bit about the history. Next time you're picking up a bottle, you know the piece of history because making whiskey, having a brand takes more than just labels and type of whiskey. It takes love. And knowing the person that is throwing that love behind is also very important. So if you're here, thank you for being here. Make sure you share, you like, you post your comment, and we'll be here. This one is going to be fun because this probably the most I call the most happiest person in the industry that I've ever met, right? The first time I heard of this brand has been someone who just walks into every situation with love, grateful at every time, took a risk to get into this industry and show people about his palate, his entrepreneurial spirit. You see me already with the hat. I'm talking about none other than Old Louisville Whiskey. Um, I describe this our guest almost as the best way I describe him is one of those people that just go with the flow and love everyone. And he showed me that. I had the chance to visit the distillery, and it was just like two old friends talking, even though that was the first time he met me. So it is only fair for me to have him on the Truth is Barrel Proof so he can tell you a little bit about him, a little bit about Old Louisville Whiskey Company, and hopefully by the time we are done, you definitely will want to try, one of his whiskey. Without further ado, Mr. Amine Karaoud. That's how I can say it best. What's up, Amine?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Another day in paradise is Thursday. I call it Baby Friday. So those are always the good days to actually have a little bit of whiskey and look forward to the weekend. Thank you for coming on the show. Um, I will tell you right now, I've been meaning to have you on the show. I don't know how many times I've said yes, we're gonna get on the show. Yes, we're gonna get on the show, but that never happened. So I'm just happy that we're doing that now. That we are definitely getting a chance to talk. So for the people that don't know you, right, that don't know who you are and why this bright smile is on their camera today, who are you, and how did you get into whiskey?
The smile is just the whiskey. It makes you smile. uh, I'm Amine Karaoud. I'm originally from North Africa, born and raised in Tunisia. Moved here to this beautiful country in 2001, New York City first, and then Kentucky 2003. So that's how I got introduced to true whiskey, true bourbon, back in 2003 when I moved here. And then fast forward 22 years in Kentucky, I decided to join this beautiful industry of whiskey and decided to start the brand. So start building it from 2000, late 2014. I start planning, buying barrels. In 2022, I launched a brand. So that's kind of like summarizes my last 10 years. The previous 10 years were all manufacturing engineering with large corporate.
And from there, how did the name come about? Why you could have called your whiskey anything.
Yeah,
You decided to call it Old Louisville Whiskey
yeah,
Company.
yeah.
What did that inspiration came from?
So Old Louisville is the original city. It's the historic district in the city of Louisville. I lived here for 22 years. It's the neighborhood north of the campus of University of Louisville. I graduated from the engineering school at University of Louisville, and then when I was in corporate, I decided to invest in some of these Victorian homes and Old Louisville. So I started buying rental properties for students and young professionals. So I bought two rental properties, and then a liquor store came for sale. And at that time, my bank was willing to finance me. Uh, so I was able actually to buy a liquor store in Old Louisville. There's only two of them. Uh, there is only two licenses available in that neighborhood. So I was proud owner of two of those licenses for 7.5 years. I still own the building. I haven't sold it. And when I decided to do brand, I'm like, well, let me search some of the names. We looked into, me and my wife were like, well, what are we gonna call it, right? And we're like, we're in Old Louisville. Old Louisville got me out of corporate. Old Louisville learned everything running my liquor store, especially about whiskey. Running my liquor store in Old Louisville. So we checked the trademark bureau, and the name was available.
Wow.
And we had to sell all the rental properties, or not many of them. There's two buildings to fund the brand or the barrels that you see behind me. So we trademarked the name, and here we are. Nobody thought about it, I guess, for 200 plus years of bourbon making in Louisville.
Yeah,
There is not an existing piece of history that there is any brand ever been registered as Old Louisville. So it was
correct.
like, that's an awesome name. I didn't think about it. But people ask me, like, how did you end up with this name? I'm like, honestly, it's like true luck because nobody thought about it before me. So,
Correct. So that's definitely something that is pretty cool because for me, you're giving homage to what gave you something, right?
yes.
Something that obviously both of us are immigrant from Africa, and coming to America, people do not understand how important it is to us to truly give back to this country that welcomed us, that made us who we are today. So I always say giving homage is quite, is very important, and I'm glad you chose that name. It's very catchy, and it tells everybody where the distillery is, where it's from, and the type of whiskey that they're going to be drinking. So it's kind of cool. So now you start the business. The question I ask every business owner or entrepreneur is: was it easy? Right, 2000. You what 2014 is when you started buying stuff, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it just, hey, now I have a brand, now I have some barrels. Let me put whiskey out there. How was the journey till we got to your first release, and now you're about what? A little. I think you start having bought on the shelf a little over 5 years now, or 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
now.
three years.
3 years, right?
Um, so I was very cautious because I already have kids. I already have a big responsibility. Took a gamble, leaving my good paying job with 401k and
Mhm.
pension plan and insurance, and went to run a liquor store in the inner city in Kentucky, right? It's a big gamble. So when I decided to do the brand, I took really cautious steps where I wasn't like trying to rush. I wasn't trying to like become the next brand. I was just like buying barrels. I was a liquor store owner, so I saw a lot of brands. So it gave me the ability to understand what other brands were doing while I was buying barrels. What they did right, what they did wrong, or at least from my point of view, right?
Point of view, yeah.
Uh, so I was seeing all type of brands, whether they're wine or beer or spirit. When it comes to spirit, was whiskey, single malt, rum, gins, and what they did right, what they did wrong, and I tried to take my steps for two reasons. I was cautious and I didn't have a lot of capital, so I had to take baby steps. So it was like, well, let's buy 2 or 3 barrels at a time, hold them there, see what happened, continue to buy more barrels. And obviously, I'm in Kentucky, so we've seen the boom of the bourbon. We've seen the the tourism and the beautiful economic impact that actually brought to Kentucky. Because I moved here in 2003, Whiskey Row was boarded. My first time going to downtown Louisville when I moved here in 2003, I was like, this is downtown? Like, literally was boarded Main Street, and there's not much going on. And if you think about Kentucky, I mean, you know, we have whiskey, we have bourbon. That's the industry, and honestly, that's one industry is still thriving right now and bringing people. We see people from every state,
All
uh,
around the world, actually.
all around the world, right? But like even like we're off the beaten path, and we see people from all over walking in from Iowa or Nebraska or Texas or California or whatever the state they're here. They're not here looking for jobs, or they're not here for any other reason but the Bourbon Trail. So it's a big deal to see the economic impact.
Correct.
So
So took baby steps, got some barrel, waiting for it. When did you decide you were ready? You're like, okay, now I think I'm ready to start putting
yeah.
whiskey in bottles and
So
start putting it out there.
2018, 2019, I thought I was ready, right? And then COVID hit, and both of my liquor stores just went completely different direction. One went really crazy, busy. The other one went dead because it was downtown. And then a year later, I was like, this is a moment where either step in into the industry with a couple hundred barrels that you own and introduce the brand, or you'll never do it. And I'm
Correct.
glad I pulled the trigger at that time. So we hired a good designer to create the label, and we applied for our license so we can pull our barrels from, we're an NDP, so we had to pull our barrels. We had to have a license to pull our barrels from all the distilleries that we purchased from, so we can start blending and playing with our barrels and our whiskey to create what we want to introduce to the market.
Correct.
So basically, it took us 18 months, 20 months maybe to go from like we're going to actually have whiskey in a bottle and have it in the market. So
Correct. So now you have whiskey on the market. What did you start with? What was the first thing you put out?
we started with our largest batch since we started, MGP distillate, anywhere from 7.5 years to 10 years old. So we
Okay.
blended 19, or I want to say 19 barrels, and it was mainly Kentucky. So we were focused on Kentucky market. We were decided to either make it in Kentucky, the toughest whiskey market, or if
Correct.
you make it here, you can make it anywhere else. It's just kind of like
Sound
New
like a New
York.
Yorker.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Sound like a New Yorker now. If you
Well,
make it here, you can make it
if
anywhere.
you're in the whiskey industry, you can make it here. You can make it anywhere else.
Correct.
So, so that's what we did. We actually focused on Kentucky only, and that's what we did. And then literally went from Kentucky to Australia.
Okay. That's a huge jump.
Well, we it was kind of like a conversation at a bar, and an Australian distributor liked the product, and they're like, "Hey, we're actually serious. We love the product. We want to bring it in." I was like, "Well, it's a bar talk." And 2 weeks later, they actually cut the PO, and the first literally purchase order outside Kentucky was with Australia.
Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's definitely a solid deal. So
I'll cheer to that.
that absolutely. So let's get into the whiskey itself. So obviously you have a range of offering that you have. I'm gonna show a few of them from your 7 year old, that which I believe is kind of your standard. If people really want to know what you put out there, you have the 7 year old, and you have as old as 11 year old on
Yeah,
your single barrel that are there, and you have two 7 year olds that I saw on the website. Clearly, you've had a lot of product that you in. How are you? Do you have any standard thing you put in on the market, or is it just some single barrels coming out and maybe special orders of groups or people
Yeah.
that want to try your whiskey? How's that going?
So we released batches. So the philosophy behind the brand is nothing younger than 7.5 years.
Okay,
Uh, Being as a whiskey drinker, then I went to a retailer. Now I'm a brand owner. I tried enough whiskey, especially American whiskey. Is a lot of the whiskey needs minimum of 7 years to develop flavors, to develop complexity. And under the old Louisville label, everything was cast strength.
correct.
It's impossible to have a good cast strength whiskey at 5 years old or four. So we needed to have the age statement that has a good 7 to 8 to allow the whiskey enough time in the barrel to develop the complexity and overcome the ethanol. So everything was the entire philosophy behind the brand, behind owning whiskey or making whiskey here or producing whiskey is at least 7 year. Allow the whiskey time in the barrel. So we've done multiple mash bills. We've done 4 batches of bourbon, 2 batches of rye so far, and we dabbled into some finishes, but that's not our focus. So basically, anytime you buy our product, is at least 7.5 year and older. Under the old Louisville label is all uncut. And obviously, what you see behind me is what we're going to be releasing at the
You'll be
KBF week.
releasing soon. So
Yeah.
let's try this old Louisville label itself. You sent me your American whiskey, cognac finished, 10 years old.
Yes.
All right, let's try the old Louisville label before we talk about the what we're calling good French,
Yeah.
the pièce de résistance. All right,
Hmm.
because that's the new pretty and exciting product that is coming on the market, right?
So what do
Woo.
you have there? What are you opening there?
I'm opening the old Louisville label, which is
Cognac. Yeah.
the cognac finish
Trying to
of the
think
ten
if I
of
have a bottle here or if I need to go grab a bottle so I can drink the same thing with you.
the. So this is like you said this wasn't your focus, but every now and then you would do some finishes
Yeah.
with your so American whiskey. Is this MGP?
It is MGP. It was distilled to be bourbon.
Hmm.
Went into used barrels because of the shortage of barrels in 2015.
Hmm.
Aged for 8.5 years in Four Roses barrels. Then
Okay.
we took it from there into a cognac cask. We produced 4 barrels, 4 casks of cognac, and we left them there for about 19 months.
Oh, nice nose. Nice candy
So
nose.
the philosophy behind the finishes is 12 to 18 months, allowing the whiskey to extract everything out of the second cask
Hmm.
and then integrate properly so you have balanced flavors.
Let's talk a little bit about your label, which I believe is probably the most interesting label I've seen. It is a map
Yes.
that shows where your distillery is on the
So
map.
that's, yeah.
That's kind of
So
cool.
so the uh, um, the idea behind the map or behind the whole label is we went through 3 or 4 designers, graphic designers, and we were like, look, we want to produce a good, clean, classic label that stands out. If we can, we want to incorporate an old map of the city. So it's very hard to see on a camera, but if you see the triangles on bottom left and top right, that's actually the city of Louisville, an old map from 1884. So it's the city that, I live in. This is home. And the designer actually was able to incorporate it. And that star is where my old liquor store is. That's where I learned everything about whiskey and spirit. So that's like paying homage to that liquor store, First and Oak, and where I actually broke my tooth
Definitely.
drinking whiskey. So
Cheers.
cheers.
Let's try this. Mm, I mean, this is solid. The best thing you could have done is that cognac cask. It is crispy. It is very crisp. It's like chewing on the apple, like a red apple, just chewing on a red apple. It is bright, crispy. It is very sparkling in your mouth. Your tongue reacts. The mid palate is beautiful. No oak at all. Just a little tiny, just a little bit of spice there. A little bit of it. It is very enjoyable. Like very enjoyable. Like this is a I want me a good pour. I want me a good pour, and I just want to have one and sit and relax. And this definitely is it. Yeah,
You
this.
get just enough, just enough hit uh, or hint of the French oak.
Yep.
So we're just gonna call it a French kiss.
Yeah, that a look that
Uh,
cacao from the French oak because that's how I describe French oak to people. Is they remind me of having hot chocolate, right? That's that fresh smell of hot
yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
is all fresh oak remind me of. So 107 best proof ever, right? You can't go wrong with 107. It's almost like for people that don't like cast strength or the people that don't like too low, 107 seemed to be the magic number
Yeah.
to actually go with. So I mean,
That's also a cast strength as well. So these barrels were stored at MGP for 7.5 years. Then we brought them to Kentucky for another year. Then we moved them to the cognac. So they didn't really gain a lot of proof, but that's actually cast strength bourbon distillate went into
yeah,
the
this
barrel 120. So
yeah, this is yeah, this I'm you should submit this for an award. This is delicious.
best student award.
Yeah, best student award, right? Best student award. Yeah, that definitely is the way we need to go is best student award because I truly believe this is definitely delicious and not overpowered at all by the cask. Whiskey itself, you can tell quality solid. Feels perfect. Like I say, feel like a crisp apple that you're chewing on with some dust of cinnamon, a little bit of hot cocoa, a chocolate finish at the end. It's nice dessert. Nice dessert. Just solid.
I just wish the bottle is close to me so I can go grab it.
Mm,
You're
mm.
you're making me thirsty right now.
So we'll call this old Louisville kind of brand the OG. And they usually say, you know, if you don't innovate in business, you're dying. So clearly, there has been some innovation from the old Louisville thing for the last, you know, 3.5, 4 years now to something new, something different that you're bringing on the market, and that's what we have behind you. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't understand how. I mean, I don't understand how they haven't called you yet at the Kentucky. What do you call it? At the mayor haven't called you yet to say you're the only brand that always is like literally in your face Kentucky all the time. Because now you have a new release out that I want to hear about, and this release is literally a collector's item, right? Because at the end of the day, any whiskey lover always like to have a set of whatever that they have. And if you're looking at this, clearly we have Kentucky spell on each bottle, which simply means that in real life, for you to be able to spell it, you need 8 bottles. All right. So now tell me about this release that you put on the market, this marketing genius move that you put on the market for folks from the old brand that we just talked about to this new thing that's on the market. Let's hear what is that about? What type of whiskey went in? Why this
Yeah.
label? And what's the plan for this label?
So this is something that I was like, okay, so most of Old Louisville barrels or releases have been all MGP. Uh, I love what they distill. I take their distillate and create my own, niche with their distillate. And then we also sourced from Kentucky distilleries. So we sourced some barrels from Barstown Bourbon Company when they first started in 2016. And we're like, okay, well, we get, we're very lucky to be in Kentucky. Like, sounds, it's rhyming, but we are very lucky as NDPs or producers in Kentucky to be here in Kentucky because we get the feedback from all the visitors. And not everybody is drinking cast strength because Old Louisville is all cast strength. It will never be cut with water. So the feedback was like, well, maybe the wife, maybe the husband, maybe the son, maybe the daughter doesn't handle 115 or 120 or 140 proof. Uh, as much as we enjoy it, there is a lot of other consumers that they like that easy going, 90 proof, 100 proof. They can do whatever they want with it. That's how they enjoy their whiskey. So the idea was to get and take these Kentucky barrels that we source from Barstown Bourbon Company and create something very unique with them. So now the barrels are showing really good flavors, hit an 8.5 year, 8.5 year. This is one of the first distillate Bardstown Bourbon Company ever did. And we cut them to 100 and we created entire new brands called Kentucky Series by Old Louisville that's going to please completely different, hopefully it's going to please both the whiskey enthusiasts and the newbies, but also at a lower price point. So we can have mid-shelf price point at $55 to $59 retail, 8 years old, 100 proof. So we're still hopefully be competitive with everybody else, small and big, producing good whiskey at a good price. And we thought about, okay, well, why not create something that's actually fun? Whether you want to collect all of them or actually collect just the K and Y, or if you want to spell out anything you want with those 8 letters. So you can
Yeah,
spell Kentucky with.
and it's like I say, marketing genius here, or just having the whole Kentucky because
We're
just like anybody else, just having this thing here, you're like, wait a minute, I I just want all of it. So I mean, every bar, every whiskey collector, every person will want to have. I mean, think about it. Let me show again what it looks like. Who doesn't want to display this on their bar? Who doesn't want this to show on their bar to say, hey, this is, especially Kentucky being Kentucky proud, right? Either it's the blue obviously with the team. Their team also have the blue color in Kentucky. So somewhere on the line, who doesn't want to have all displays that say Kentucky so they can literally show off, right? Their stuff here.
You can officially call your bar a Kentucky bar once you collect
Correct.
all 8 of them.
Correct. And just like Pokemon's, now this is gonna become that thing where people now are like, wait a minute, I wanna be able to show off my collection. I want to be able to show off, you know, what I have. So it's one of those things that for me is probably the most marketing genius move. But I understand also that some people just want something lower proof, which I understand. That's something you are getting to a different type of market, and I can appreciate that. Now, question is, are each expression different, or are they all the same expression, 8 years old, and just in different bottles? That was the first thing I saw when this came through. That was the ultimate question I have. Are they different or are they the same?
So the Kentucky series is basically the barrels that we source from Kentucky from multiple distilleries. Everything you see behind me with the blue is one mash bill and one batch. So if we switch mash bill, we will switch the color. So you will
Oh,
know it's actually coming from a different distillery or it's a different mash bill. So we'll continue to produce the blue label and the barrels that we source from Barstown Bourbon Company. If we switch the distillate, the where we source it from, and we have other barrels they're 5 and 6 years old right now. We're waiting for them to hit like 8, 8.5 to show really good uh, true bourbon expressions that can show good flavors even at 100 proof, even for the whiskey expert will be pleased. Then the label will switch color. So
okay. Now this makes sense. Now this totally makes sense for me to kind of understand what it is. So you can have the Kentucky collection, but also at the same time, you may in the future may also have you may also have someone who literally can have
8 colors.
8 colors as well.
As long as the mash bill is changing, the color is gonna change.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Then now this become very interesting. So mash bill is the same. Are they all the same proof? Is 50 proof, right? All
Yep,
batch the same way?
50% ABV and then 100 proof. So it just you cut it to the point where if you have mature whiskey, it has plenty of flavors, but you're not diluting it too much, so you're still getting the character of the oak. You're still getting the character that maturation allowed the whiskey to create inside that barrel without diluting it too much. 90 proof is great. You can always add water. You can always add ice. But 100 proof, I feel like it's a good proof where you can have both the flavors. I have the tea.
I have the C.
Tea for
I
crack.
was hoping you send me the K because the K is
Everybody's looking for a K. There is also two Ks because the K has the back label will show you which K you're collecting.
oh yeah. Ah, okay.
So
So
I guess
this is
I have to send you a K. Well, actually, you may be a KBF before I can send the bottle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I will see you at KBF. So don't worry. I will harass you for my K at KBS four.
The
But
first
I
K or
mean,
a second K?
first one. Oh, always. If you're not first, you're last, right?
Yeah.
So I want to show again. The guys look at this. It's 8 years old, Kentucky straight bourbon, 100 proof. Look at this beauty, right? So if you've been looking for something to actually collect for a while, and you haven't found it yet, guess what? This is the time. Somebody on Instagram say we need to have this in Nigeria. I hear
We can
you.
make that happen.
We need to I actually have a distributor in Nigeria that will take you'll take your bourbon. You and I need to have a conversation about it when I come to KBF.
Yes.
There is the African market is really open to bourbon. I did a tasting there. I took Castron bourbon there, and it was just
Oh,
people
I
just
missed
love.
the invite. I missed the invite.
I didn't go for good news, right? So I lost my dad. That's why I went back home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I
Sorry to
went
hear
I
that.
went for funeral, but I had a week after all the things, 3 weeks of funeral things, and I brought some whiskey with me. And one of my friend was like, "Dude, you are the son of the country that knows about whiskey. Why don't you do something?" And in 3 days, he called everybody, cigar bar, hotels, and said, "There's this expert that knows about whiskey. He needs to." So whatever I call it my travel whiskey because I always have a second bag when I go internationally for just whiskey. And I did a tasting and it became a thing. People just loved it. Africa is
Love it.
ready for bourbon. It's just bourbon is not ready to jump into Africa. So you know You may be the first brand there. Beside Jack Daniel, no one knows any other brand in
Well,
that.
let's fix that.
Yeah, correct, correct. So I'll have some conversations, but 50% ABV again, guys. Look at this bottle. So while we're tasting the whiskey itself,
Hmm.
I want to ask about this. So there's only one person I know that design and draws like this. So I want to hear how did that come about, right? That you actually you got him to actually do this.
Well, just like meeting you here in Kentucky, I met Rob Cameron, awesome individual. He loves bourbon, and we met several times now. Uh, but Rob on IG goes by Meat in Minutes. He's an industrial designer for a big manufacturing or car manufacturer. He designed cars for living, and he does this for a hobby. We became friends, and he drew a bottle last year for me before KBF, and we released a 17-year, 151 proof at
That
KBF.
was a solid
Uh,
pull.
so Kentucky Bourbon Festival weekend in September. It's a full whiskey festival. It's probably
Oh,
the biggest
we'll get to
festival.
it. We'll get to it. I'll tell people
Yeah,
where they can find you.
yeah. So that's how, me and Rob got together, and every time he comes to town, we'll have dinner or pool or whatever. And I was
You
like,
never took
hey,
me to dinner. Is it because I'm an immigrant? I'm not cool enough to go.
no, because you're black.
That's what it is. It's because I'm black. That's definitely it.
Oh, no, no. Honestly, last time we hang out here, I think we just like spent too much time
We
drinking
work
whiskey.
too much time in
Yeah,
the warehouse.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
our problem. We spend way too much time in the
yeah.
warehouse.
When you
Um,
usually you're here like in and out too, so you don't have a
correct,
lot of time.
correct,
So,
correct.
so that's how it came
Um,
about. So Rob was gracious enough to offer his artistic skills and draw a couple bottles, and I'm like, hey, I'm releasing something new. Are you interested to do it? I mean, I'm not expecting him to do a full lineup. This guy is like a dead and corporate designer, and like I just can't ask anything. Like whatever he can do, I'm like, dude, I'm just freaking grateful for the rest of my life for whatever he did. So literally, just Bourbon brought us together. He liked my product. I love his art, even though I'm not an artist, but I have an appreciation for art, and he was willing to do stuff like that. So that's how the whole thing came about, and it's amazing how bourbon brings people together, and we
Bourbon bring
do.
a lot of people
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
That's definitely
So
something that we can all agree on. I appreciate what is happening around this. Um, so this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Um, the nose is like the nose come off a little more than 150, 100 proof.
yeah,
It's a little more spicy on the nose. All right. Cheers, my friend. First,
cheers.
you guys. So before I start tasting it, when can people taste it? Because for people that don't know, if you want to know a little more about Old Louisville, on Instagram it is Old Louisville Whiskey, right? It's old, just like Louisville. I'm
Yeah,
saying it. I'm trying my best not to say it like the French way, but it's old,
Louisville.
Old Louisville whiskey on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram right now, for all the people watching on Instagram, make sure you follow them on Old Louisville Instagram. But then Old Louisville whiskey.com. I will show you. The website is very slick, easy to use. You don't have to be a genius to know how to use the website. So, simply as this, you go on their website, you know about their story, you know about the whiskey, you go to the shop, you will see everything that they have out. You can even plan your tours if you want to actually do a tour and do a tasting with them. But you can go to the merch, which I rock the sweater. Their sweater actually is a high quality sweater. Their shirt, same thing. But this sweater right here, I have, and I love it. I didn't know you have a new hat. I love this hat. I love this hat. So
Oh,
this,
we got. You gotta come to the KBF booth then.
I'm coming. I am coming to the KBF booth. I'm gonna be there. So prepare the Jack package for me when I come there.
You got
But
it. You got it.
here is their whiskey. You can add to cart buy directly. We'll talk about distribution right after we taste. Yeah, a few people are on Instagram are saying they're following you right away. They're gonna follow your page, go on the website, and make sure that you grab your stuff from him directly. If you have any questions, make sure you ask. We'll make sure that we show you more. Amin can answer any of your questions, so don't worry about it. He's not
Yeah, I
shy
don't.
to talk about his product.
If you call the company number, that's my cell phone. So I don't have a secretary. So I'll be the one answering the calls if you need to book a tour or have a question about mash bill or any of that. So
Brother, my question is, where are you finding this whiskey?
in Kentucky.
This is good. So, when is this product actually going to be available for folks? Because I already know a few people are looking already on your website, hoping that they can get their
Yeah,
hands on
yeah,
it
yeah.
already. So, when is the Kentucky series being released?
So the official release date is September 1st. So the week of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Hey,
So
if you
we
haven't
will.
planned to be at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, that's the week. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be there. I know a lot of people are gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. They know I'm gonna be there, and they know that I'm gonna be there. So you
So
guys will be
the
there.
question is, are we gonna have dinner that week?
You know what? If you invite me, I'll come. I will come and have dinner
I
with
didn't know how
you.
busy you are,
Absolutely.
so
I
I don't
can
know how
have dinner
busy you
with you
are.
Sunday. Sunday, I have no plan, so I can have dinner
Sunday
with you
before or after?
after. Nah,
Oh,
yeah, because
that's
be-
that's
because
a that's a
I can't come early in the town. I still
uh,
have responsibilities, but
Sunday
I
after the festival. That's more like hydration IV station
I
type of
know, I
deal.
know, but you know what?
But
That's
we
what I'm
still
saying.
need dinner. We still need
Yes,
dinner.
yes.
So let's
So
plan. All right, it's on the calendar. Sunday after
but
KBF,
Sunday
we're
after
doing
the
dinner.
festival, you and
All right,
I would
you
drive.
flying out of Louisville.
I'm staying in Louisville, so
All
we'll be
right,
just fine.
dinner Sunday night. Dinner with
Sunday
you.
night, let's have dinner. Yes.
It will
Um,
be. It won't be just me. You never know. It could be four or five or maybe 10 people.
I'm you
Whoever
know what?
whoever is hanging out with us is coming to dinner that
So if you haven't heard it yet, you talk to me. You want to come to
night.
dinner Sunday, talk to me. We'll make sure we arrange for dinner
Yeah,
for you to be there.
it's
But
gonna be a feast.
yes, KBF, are you bringing these expression to KBF?
Yeah, so the cognac is gonna be there. The KBF team.
You definitely want to try this.
Yeah, the KBF team picked a barrel. It turns 11 years old on September 3rd, so we
Wow.
have to bottle that day to turn 11, and then we'll bring it to the festival on the 4th. The
Ooh.
next two expressions gonna be Kentucky Series, which is a new expression, and then the fourth one we don't know. It's a surprise.
Okay.
You gotta be there.
You want to come to KBF to
Not
be able
not
to be
because we
sure.
wanna not because we wanna like make it too exciting or anything. We just don't have a plan yet.
Correct.
Whatever is
Correct.
gonna taste good that week, we're gonna bring it. So
So uh just make sure that you are there at KBF if you can, so we can definitely make sure that we tried new expressions out of Old Louisville. I'll be there trying to just to annoy I mean, because that's my job as his younger brother, to just come and annoy him and steal some shit from him and whatnot. But uh so what beside KBF, we got KBF, we obviously got this new thing coming on the market. What else is coming? If you're a Louisville fan, if you've been an old Louisville distillery fan, what what should we expect from the brand? Are we seeing a new Kentucky series coming on the market? Are we what are we what should a fan of old Louisville, like somebody like a Joe Unfiltered that love old Louisville, what should he expect from the brand in the upcoming years?
So between the fall and early winter, we're gonna release our oldest wheated bourbon, cast strength, eight
Ooh,
years old, eight and a half, uh, 51 corn, 45 wheat, and then we are playing with the four grain. We will be releasing a four grain bourbon. That's gonna be 10 years old, 10 to 11 years old, 21% rye, maybe 36% rye barrels, and then our 45% wheated bourbon are gonna be blended together to the right ratio, to the right profile, cast strength. It will be 89 to $99 retail in most markets. And by
okay.
the way, we just hit your market in Nebraska, so you're gonna see
We
us
did?
in, yes.
Okay.
So
This live has been sharing the Nebraska Whiskey Associate, the Nebraska, the OWL. That's Omaha whiskey lovers. So this live has been sharing it. So for all of you
awesome.
guys living in Nebraska, guess what? Old Louisville is gonna start being distributed.
We already sent some product, and we got a second order from Nebraska. So
Okay,
we
this is
definitely
good
have
news.
our product there, and tomorrow we're gonna be shipping four different
Who's gonna
expressions to
be your
our
distributor?
distributor. Is called Handcrafted Wine
Okay,
and Spirit.
okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with them
I
or not.
never
They're
I
very
never heard of them. I
yeah,
I only
they're
know the
small.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. I know the usual Southern
Yeah.
RNBC Johnson, and there's one that is called what do you call it? There's a small one too, but I never heard of those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Handcrafted is pretty good. Small size distributor that will give us enough attention. We're very small. Like
Right.
our production is very interesting because we don't produce unless we have orders. So everything stays in a barrel. So we produce anticipating or have orders in place. So like if I show you we're in a production facility, if you see the bottles there on the table, some of those will gonna end up in Nebraska. So we had an order from Kansas, an order from Nebraska, an order
Yeah.
from
I
Kentucky.
see them handcrafted is in. I mean, I see them there in Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Oregon.
Yeah. So they're very small. They're given our brand and attention, but like as far as production, we produce the order. We try to produce the order. So when we have 10 cases going to Nebraska and 5 cases going to Kentucky, 14 cases going to Kansas, we'll just batch an awesome small batch, like 2 to 5 to 6 barrels that fulfill the orders, and maybe we'll leave a few cases here for the gift shop. And that's how we produce. We don't just produce because we have a schedule or anything. That's very, very not our style. So it's very small production, and literally we produce the order. So as long as the whiskey is in the barrels and proven, is evolving, we leave it alone. If we have orders, we bottle it. If we don't, we leave it in the barrel.
That makes sense. So last but not least, my question to every brand remains the same. You've worked hard, you put your sweat in, you've put your time in. If there's one way we can support you for this dream of yours to become reality, how can we do that? Is it by liking your page? Is it by buying a bottle? Is it by visiting your distillery? Is it by going on your on your website and buying stuff? How can people support Old Louisville Whiskey Company so Amin's dream become a reality? You
Yeah.
feel like you've done something on the market.
I think anybody, any listeners or fans that want to support us, obviously the fans already supporting us. Just give us a try, give us a shot. Not just for my brand, for any craft distillery or any big brands. If you see something new, don't be shy to give it a shot. Um, or read the back label. Call that owner before you buy it. Uh, just give it a try and see hopefully we can surprise you and we can amaze you with some good quality so you can come back. I think that's the best way any consumers or any fan will support us by giving us a shot. You know, take a shot and give us a shot. So
Okay. Okay. I love that. Take a shot and give us a shot. His name is Amin. His brand is Old Louisville Whiskey. He's bringing something new on the market. This Kentucky series for me is probably one of the most genius thing I've seen in a long time in the industry. I'm excited about it. Collecting these numbers. Barstow Bourbon Company produce amazing whiskey. As you can see, I mean, is very transparent in what he's saying. He's not hiding anything from you. He's telling you the source of the whiskey. The genius of what's happening here is his palate and the ability to have patience for the whiskey to come to maturation to for him to give you amazing product. If you come into KBF, if you come into KBF, make sure you take a moment, stop by his place, say, "Hey, I've seen you talking to Jack. I'm here to try your whiskey," and he said it, and you heard it here. If you're in Louisville, 15-minute, an Uber, 15-minute Uber, you are his place. If you stay in downtown Louisville, you can go visit, go check him out. He'll even let you play sometime in the warehouse. There's a crazy place there. I mean, is like a child at heart. So if you go there and you want to act crazy, he's the first one to follow you. There's a picture of me holding a whole barrel because I told him and that's the type of person he is. Hospitality and welcoming people is what he enjoy. So stop by. This house is yours. Try to give him a trial. I think I mean is one of those people that have a really really great palate and does not just throw things at the wall and hope it sticks. He truly is actually giving you quality whiskey, giving homage to Kentucky. Um, if you have not heard me say it multiple times, is Old Louisville Whiskey.com. Go on the website, Old Louisville Whiskey. Make sure you check out their social media. If you have any question, send them my way. I'll be sure to send him his way so he can answer it for you. I mean, thank you so much
cheers.
for being
Thanks
here.
for having me, Jack. And
I
looking
definitely
forward to see
appreciate
you
it
at
being
KBF
here.
weekend.
I'm gonna see you in two
Sunday
weeks.
dinner.
Sunday dinner for
I'm
sure.
gonna put it on the calendar because if I
Put it
don't
on
put
the
it on the
calendar.
calendar
We
tonight,
having Sunday
I
dinner
will
for sure.
forget it. With a lot of
No,
whiskey I drank,
I'm
I will
gonna I'm
forget
I'm gonna
it.
send you a calendar invite. Say it's we got Sunday dinner. So cheers, my friend, and we'll
Cheers.
see you next time. Remember, this is your house now. So if there is something you have to say, if there's an expression you want people to know about, you're welcome back here on the Truth is Bearer Proof